My name is Travis Anderson. I'm the project manager for Future Sault Ste. Marie. The decision to rebrand the community came out of the Community Adjustment Committee, which was sort of the precursor to Future Sault Ste. Marie. So it originated in around 2015. At the time, the community was kind of reeling again from another boom-bust cycle. So SR Algoma Steel had been just entered into CCAA. Tenaris had pretty significant layoffs at their facility, and then OLG was also undertaking a strategic review, and its future in Sault Ste. Marie was rather uncertain. So the political leaders at the time, had the foresight to really move forward with looking at how we can kind of create a more resilient community, again with that four-pillar approach. And there were a number of recommendations that came out of that work, and one of the core recommendations was looking at a more consistent and professional and modern brand that we could use as a platform to help build community pride and really try to attract more people to the community, including more youth.
A brand is just so much more than a logo, as we've seen. It really considers your reputation to your stakeholders and the many ways in which your story is told. And this logo specifically told a story, but with it also comes a background story. So it really is a nice graphic representation of our city's core values.
I think we've been really bold and confident in terms of the branding that we're doing. It's very youth-centric. We made a conscious effort to really target youth with a number of our engagements. We engaged with overall about 750 individuals and organizations, and we really wanted to get a pulse of what it meant to be from Sault Ste. Marie from a young person's perspective, and then kind of utilize that information to create a brand that we could go out and position Sault Ste. Marie as a great place to live, work, and do business. And some of the things that we've learned going forward was really being confident in terms of the branding that you have and positioning yourself in this competitive environment as a great place with a great quality of life, and really trying to get that with the imagery, the experiences that people want to have in a community really visually represented. There's a number of initiatives that we are working on right now and certainly want to continue. And really it's about creating a great place to live, which is Sault Ste. Marie.
So my name is Krista McCracken, and I am the researcher and curator in the Shingwauk Residential School Center, which is housed at Algoma University. The Reclaiming Shingwauk Hall exhibition is dedicated to telling the history of the Shingwauk Residential School and exploring the history of residential schools in Canada. And it's actually the first of its kind in Canada in that it was survivor-driven, it exists in a former residential school building, and it's a permanent exhibition. There's only 14 residential school buildings that are existing across Canada still, and Algoma University is located in one of those buildings, making this a really unique space in how it shares history, and it's an educational space for the community and public. We're also seeing a huge increase of visitors coming to Sault Ste. Marie from Southern Ontario as far as New Brunswick and Quebec, because they recognize that this is such a unique space and a unique project. So this nomination really represents a recognition of the work the survivor community has been doing since the residential school closed, advocating for their history to be preserved and told on the national scale. I think that's so significant and so special.
My name is Jake Alfonso. I'm a student here at Algoma University, and I'm currently working as a research assistant for one of the professors. Prior to coming here to Algoma University, I was studying at George Brown College, and I graduated there. I studied construction engineering technologies, and in my second year, I took a class on environmental science, and I've learned how impactful the industrialization and the construction industry is in terms of polluting the environment. So I transferred here to get a degree in environmental science because I want to do something related to the remediation of polluted areas, like environmental consulting. During the fall and winter of the last school year, I worked for Dr. Jennifer Foote. We were looking at the feeding behaviors of the black-capped chickadees. We had a lot of problems during the data collection because we were trying to measure how much birdseed the chickadees were taking, but we had squirrels getting to the feeders. The traps that Dr. Foote was using previously, the door wouldn't close properly, so I re-engineered it in a way so that the door could go down, and even if the bird were to push on the door a little bit, it wouldn't be able to escape through. Over the summer, I was working for Dr. William Dew, and he's a sensory physiologist and aquatic toxicologist, so in his lab I made these behavioral mazes that we use to study how different aquatic animals reacted to different things that we added. So we could have added like pollutants or like carbohydrates, and then we would see how the animal would react. I'm honored to get the award, and it motivates me to do better and become like the best version of myself.
My name is Mike Oliveira. I'm the math learning facilitator for the Huron-Superior Catholic District School Board. For me, I think the technology really allows me to create a powerful learning platform where students can really work on the mathematical proficiencies like problem solving, communication, and flexible thinking. And for the students, I think it really gives them the opportunity to connect what we're doing in mathematics to a real world situation. I want to try to build passionate mathematics students, and technology really is a good way to get them engaged. For example, one lesson that we do is we learn about all the different functions that are available in mathematics, and we can use graphing software to create pieces of artwork. And so you can really engage not only the math thinkers, but those who may be interested in art design. That's a great little experience for them, and they see the connection. I'm always going to continue to try and build lessons that are engaging and hopefully continue to have students that are interested in mathematics and interested in coming to school every day.
My name's Ozma Vesna, and I'm the President and Vice Chancellor of Algoma University. Every position has held fairly significant challenge. When I was a very young leader of a high school, I remember being one of the youngest staff coming into a new building that was really struggling with some of the cultural issues that organizations often do. And really, looking at me as who's this person coming in that's going to kind of fix our organization. And I remember being really nervous about it and thinking, how are they going to accept me? Every leadership experience that you have, you build off the ones that you've already had previously. And so I think today, I really stand pretty firm on things like equity and diversity, on making sure people are treated well, and I'm not afraid to challenge, bad behaviors in an organization, and I think people know what I do stand for as a leader. For me, it's been about resonating with people, empowering people that want to make good change happen for the organization, getting behind really good ideas, and letting the team just go with it, right? Lots of questions, absolutely, but really it's the people in the organization that make change happen. And I think what I've learned is, as a good leader, you just figure out a way to make it happen. And Algoma University is really having exceptional success right now, and it is really being driven by the entire community. And so what this means to me is I've done my job as a leader by empowering other leaders to really lead incredible change for our community. Just a bit of advice to a woman that is thinking about a leadership role is go for it. What I find with a lot of women is they'll second guess. They second guess whether they're ready. They question whether their family will be okay handling and juggling multiple responsibilities. And there are lots of ways to put those support pieces into your life and still be able to have a really fulsome career, family life, and personal life. So I think, finding women role models that you really resonate with as an upcoming leader and asking them for advice or how did you do it? What's your story? Would you share it with me?
The founder of an innovative software testing company called Plato Testing. What sets Plato apart is our commitment to not only training, but employing members of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit communities as software testers. Once they have successfully completed our training program, each graduate is offered a good, well-paying job in the technology industry. Plato's social impact approach addresses two important issues: the high levels of unemployment among Indigenous youth and Canada's growing need for technology workers. We are innovative in the way that we are making a difference in Sault Ste. Marie, in Northern Ontario, and in Canada.
Since announcing our expansion to Sault Ste. Marie in October of 2018, Plato Testing has established itself here at Station Tower. We've launched and delivered our first software tester training program here in Sault Ste. Marie, and we've graduated and currently employ 10 of those Indigenous software testers at our office here. Our tangible goal at Plato Testing is to create a network of 1,000 Indigenous software testers across Canada. These software testers are working in good, well-paying jobs in and around their home communities. We're also looking to enable and increase the participation of corporate Canada in their reconciliation efforts. Plato Testing is incredibly proud to be nominated through this SSMART Award and to be recognized for our innovation here in Sault Ste. Marie. We are making an impact here in Sault Ste. Marie, across Northern Ontario, and across Canada in our efforts toward reconciliation.
My name is Jasmine Rowley, and I am the Director of Marketing and Communications for Village Media. Village Media is a network of hyperlocal news and information websites across Ontario, and we have strategic partners across the country and in the US and the UK. All of our websites run off of our custom CMS platform that we have made in-house. We have a community engine, which is one of the fastest, most responsive, and stable platforms in our industry. It is something that we are constantly working on and customizing to our own needs as local news providers. If one of our partners or one of our local markets wants to try something new on our CMS, we literally build it for them. And we have a quick turnaround, and we're always trying to stay on top of things that are happening in the industry, and not only on top, but ahead. One of the things that sticks out for me, because I've been a part of the program from the beginning, is our Random Acts of Kindness program. So Sue today has a program where we go out and we try to brighten the day of people who are really making an impact in our community by surprising them with meaningful gifts. That's something that I love that program, and I feel the response of the program in the community when I'm out talking to community members who say, that positivity has inspired them to pay it forward and be kinder. And I think that's just such a great example of one of the things that we do here that really impacts our communities. So I think for us, we will just continue to grow globally in who we're partnering with so that they can come onto our platform. And we really want to help local news stay alive. We want to be a conduit to creating healthy news environments in places otherwise that are losing their legacy media or just seeing a news void. So our platform allows people to be able to keep providing local news, which I think is so important. Village Media prides itself on being an innovative company. It really is, at our core, we were born digital. So to be nominated for something that is such a meaningful part of our fiber is really special.